China, a land where nature and time weave together wonders beyond imagination. From the magical color-changing lakes of Jiuzhaigou to the towering sandstone pillars of Zhangjiajie. Each place is a world of its own, both distant and familiar, like a memory. It's not just the breathtaking landscapes that captivate the heart, but also the ancient stories etched in stone, the rivers carrying the breath of millennia, and the villages where people still live in harmony with the land and sky. In this video, we will explore the 10 most beautiful destinations in China, hidden gems scattered across this vast land where every step brings you closer to a beauty that is both pure and profound. Now let the journey begin. Jiuzhaigou, located in the Huangshan mountain range of Sichuan, is a breathtaking and mysterious natural wonder recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage Site. This valley, known as the Valley of Nine Villages, is where nature, culture, and spirituality blend into a silent symphony meant for those who know how to truly listen. Five Flower Lake. The gem of the valley shimmers with colors that shift from soft turquoise to golden yellow to a deep serene green at dusk. Beneath its clear surface lie ancient tree trunks preserved as if time itself chose to leave them untouched. This is where the soul finds peace. The sound of Pearl Shoal Waterfall, towering at 40 meters, echoes through the forested mountains. Its cascading waters stretch out like a torn silk ribbon, tumbling over moss-covered rocks, whispering ancient secrets from the wilderness. Nearby stands Tiger Leaping Rock, a bold stone formation in the stream, as if nature had left its own exclamation mark. Lijiang waterfall flows gently through a bamboo forest, soothing with its unhurried rhythm. The surrounding primeval forests, home to the elusive giant panda, add to the valley's sacred and mystical aura, even if sightings are rare. The culture of Jiuzhaigou is unique, shaped by the traditions of the Tibetan and Qiang people. Circle dances during festivals, the sound of the jaw harp echoing along the slopes, and folk songs rich with the soul of the mountains give the region a spirit all its own. Local dishes like roasted yak meat and herbal teas aren't just meals, they are windows into the region's culture. Religion in Jiuzhaigou doesn't require grand temples. Small shrines nestled in the forest where locals light incense and offer prayers are the spiritual heart of this land. During festivals, Tibetan villagers perform water deity rituals and dance around prayer poles, creating sacred moments that need no stage or audience. Since being designated as a national park in 1978 and a World Natural Heritage Site in 1992, Jiuzhaigou has drawn over 1 million visitors each year. Yet this place is not meant for raised smartphones, but for those willing to stand still, listen, and truly feel its serene beauty. With legends such as Five Flower Lake being a goddess's fallen mirror and Pearl Shoal Waterfall, as her flowing hair, Jiuzhaigou is more than a scenic spot. It's where mystical tales come alive. And when you visit, you may come to a simple realization: this world is still breathtakingly beautiful. Zhangjiajie, located in the northwest of Hunan province, is a surreal natural wonder with towering sandstone pillars piercing through the mist. Its beauty doesn't come from cinematic effects, but from nature itself. This is the real-world inspiration behind Pandora in the movie Avatar. The soaring peaks seem to float in midair, leaving visitors utterly awestruck. Amidst this majestic scenery, the Zhangjiajie glass bridge stretches between two cliffs, appearing like a thin thread suspended between heaven and earth. Beneath your feet lies a deep canyon, making everyone who steps onto the bridge feel the raw power and grandeur of nature. It's as if just one step could take you into the clouds, evoking sheer amazement at the wonders of creation. As you wander along the park's trails, you'll encounter sandstone formations with fantastical shapes like giant hands reaching toward the sky or stone pillars rising straight from the earth blanketed in green moss. Every step in Zhangjiajie feels like stepping into a myth, a place where the boundary between man and nature blurs and the mystical feels within reach. Zhangjiajie's allure lies not only in its landscapes, but also in the legends woven into the land. The stone pillars are said to have been created by deities to protect the mystical creatures that dwell in the forest. Each peak, each spire carries its own tale, making this destination one of the most mesmerizing and sought-after places to explore. Lijiang, an ancient town recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, rests peacefully in the heart of Yunnan. Each curved tile roof casts its reflection into the clear canals and narrow stone alleys, lead into a world where the pace of modern life seems forgotten. The sound of trickling water blends with the gentle notes of the pipa, drifting from an old courtyard, slowing everything down, while the past whispers through the morning mist. Lijiang lives and breathes the culture of the Naxi people. Locals don't just preserve their traditions, they live them daily, writing Dongba script, weaving brocade, and singing ancient ceremonial songs. From the town center, the Waterwheel Square leads up to Lion Hill, where the whole of Lijiang spreads before you like an ink-wash painting. In the distance, the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain glistens year-round with snow, and Black Dragon Pool, crystal clear, like a mirror, is said to be guarded by a sacred black dragon, protecting the land's prosperity. Legend says the lake was formed from the tears of a god separated from his lover. The black dragon is his soul silently watching over Lijiang, reflecting eternal love in waters that never ripple. Following the stone path, you'll reach Baisha, an ancient village home to Ming-era murals, where Buddhism, Taoism, and Naxi beliefs merge. The vivid colors and strange patterns reflect a harmony between heaven, earth, and humanity. Lijiang's beauty lies not just in its scenery, but in its role as a living museum of history and culture. Lijang was once a key stop on the ancient tea horse road, where mule caravans carried tea and medicinal herbs from Tibet down into southern China during the Southern Song Dynasty. The stone-paved roads and winding slopes still bear the marks of hooves, echoes of footsteps from the past. The Naxi people, with their unique Dongba language and script, have cultivated a rich and enduring culture. The Torch Festival is their most vibrant celebration of the year, when flaming torches light up the old town and people dance, offer incense, and pray for good harvests, health, and peace. Dongba shamans chant scriptures, draw sacred symbols, and burn them, sending their prayers to the heavens. Lijiang's cuisine reflects a way of life deeply rooted in the land. A bowl of yak meat stewed with herbs, a cup of Naxi tea, or a simple rice cake invites travelers to pause and connect with the land, the people, and the memory of time. The Mu family mansion, once Lijiang's seat of power, still preserves its wooden architecture, a blend of Sichuan and Naxi styles with serene courtyards, ancient tea rooms, and ancestral altars. Along the canals, old houses with carved wooden doors, yin-yang tile roofs, and cool stone floors feel like stepping into a living memory. Lijiang isn't a place for a quick photo and goodbye. It's a place to slow down, to listen to the sound of water in the canals, music echoing in the distance, and to feel something soft and distant, a sound that once heard is never forgotten. Perhaps it's the sound of memory, or maybe it's the sound of yourself discovering what it means to truly live in a moment without deadlines. Huangshan, the Golden Mountain of the South, is a mystical, natural wonder located in Anhui Province. This place is not only renowned for its majestic scenery, but also for the deep intertwining of history and spirituality. At dawn, as mist lingers on the pine branches, Granite peaks rise like islands floating on a sea of clouds. At a lotus peak, in particular, the morning light casts a spellbinding, almost otherworldly scene. Huangshan boasts 72 steep stone peaks and is famed for its 4 natural marvels: peculiar pines, odd-shaped rocks, seas of clouds, and hot springs. The cloud-dispelling pavilion is a highlight offering panoramic views of rolling cloudscapes. Meanwhile, the Jiuzhaigou Grand Canyon, with its towering cliffs, evokes a sense of nature's maze, mysterious and overwhelming. Since the Tang Dynasty, Taoist sages have come here to seek spiritual energy, meditate and practice alchemy. Small temples perched on cliffs continue the traditions of worshiping stone gods, cloud spirits, and ancestors during sacred festivals. In the morning mist, the soft chime of wind bells echoes like ancient chants, creating a meditative, reflective atmosphere. Huangshan's allure lies not only in its landscapes, but also in its role as a muse for poets, painters, and calligraphers. Classical Chinese art from the Tang, Ming, and Qing dynasties drew inspiration from these very vistas, where every pine branch and stone seems to narrate a silent story in the language of nature. At the mountain's foot lies Zidi ancient village where time feels frozen. The yin-yang tiled roofs, whitewashed walls, and intricately carved wooden doors form a space rich with cultural identity. Locals here live closely with memory and tradition reflected in their cuisine and the delicate art of crafting Huangshan tea. During festivals, the Huizhou opera resounds rich in classical aesthetics, telling stories of romantic tragedy and moral longing. Every line sung is a thread of cultural heritage passed down through generations. Locals believe every stone on Huangshan has a soul. Legend speaks of an immortal descending upon the mountain to teach humanity how to live in harmony with nature. If you sit quietly atop Bright Summit at dawn, you might hear the echo of stone bells rising from deep within the mountain, a spiritual call from the heart of the earth. Huangshan is more than a scenic destination. It is a sacred crossroads where nature and spirit meet, where proud stone and patient moss coexist. It is a place for those who know how to pause, listen, and let their souls be purified by the natural world. And when you stand among the clouds in complete silence, you may feel the eternal beauty of Huangshan, not just to see, but to truly sense the wonder of nature and spirit. Up next, a dreamy lake in Hangzhou awaits you where poetry and scenery merge like a springtime dream. West Lake, the poetic gem nestled in the heart of Hangzhou, is more than just a lake. It is a seamless fusion of nature and art. Its tranquil surface feels like a sanctuary for memories, and every breeze carries the scent of tea, the sound of ancient instruments, and echoes of classical verse. Walking along the nearly 3-kilometer-long Su Causeway, you'll see lotuses swaying in the wind, stone bridges arching gracefully over turquoise waters, and willows murmuring like an ancient melody. At dusk, sunlight drapes the lake in golden silk, and at night, the 3 pools mirroring the moon. 3 small stone pagodas rising from the lake glow with lanterns during the Mid-Autumn Festival, casting the illusion of 1 moon 13 reflections at once, real, dreamlike, and sacred. Spanning nearly 6.5 square kilometers, Westlake is encircled by mountains, bamboo groves, and classical gardens. Bai Causeway to the north connects Duan Bridge with Gushan Island and is an ideal spot for watching the sunrise or sunset as red clouds melt into the water. Further away stands Lifeng Pagoda, leaning gently by the shore, bearing witness to the love legend of the celestial maiden Bai Suzhen and the mortal Xuxian, a romance that defied heaven's law but remains eternally bound by societal judgment. Since the Tang Dynasty, Westlake has inspired poetry, painting, and music. The famed poet Su Dongpo, once an official in Hangzhou, constructed the Su Causeway and left behind literary works praising the lake's beauty. He didn't just depict the scenery, he embedded within it a philosophy of living slowly and harmoniously with nature. The true beauty of West Lake lies not only in its scenery, but also in the lives of those who dwell beside it. Hangzhou locals tend to lotus gardens, tea plantations, pine groves, and fish ponds, as if caring for their own memories. Their elegant way of life, gardening, tea-making, quiet living, has turned West Lake into a living museum, unexhibited yet perfectly preserved. During the Lotus Festival, the Jiangsu opera resonates in the air, blending with the fragrance of tea and the golden light of sunset, creating a scene where the line between reality and dream blurs. One cannot leave West Lake without tasting Longjing tea, hand-picked, pan-roasted in small batches, and brewed with mountain spring water. Paired with ginger steamed fish or soft rice cakes, it is a light yet refined culinary experience. Locals believe West Lake is a celestial gem guarded by dragons and phoenixes. When the gem fell from heaven, it formed the lake alongside Phoenix Mountain and Dragon Mountains, creating the symbolic dragon-coiled phoenix perch formation, a sign of blessing and harmony. Tucked into the bamboo forest northwest of the lake is Lijiang Temple, where the morning bell chimes offer prayers for peace and enlightenment. Nearby lies the ancient Guozhuang Garden, a miniature West Lake within West Lake where ancient bonsai trees reflect in fish ponds and winding stone paths lead to rare moments of tranquility amid life's bustle. West Lake doesn't ask you to do anything, only to pause. Pause to hear the water's murmur, to catch the faint scent of lotus in the breeze, to watch an elderly man cast his fishing line in the late afternoon, and to realize that the truest beauty often comes from simplicity and sincerity. This is a place where nature is not conquered, where people have nothing to prove, and where beauty doesn't need a name. All you need to do is let yourself drift on the lake and let the landscape reflect your soul, like the moonlight touching the water and echoing softly in the heart of the traveler. Yading, known as the Little Shangri-La, is a world apart from the rhythms of everyday life. Here, three sacred snow-capped peaks rise majestically into the Tibetan blue sky, crystal-clear lakes gleam like the Buddha's eyes. Endless meadows lie still without a breeze, and alpine forests whisper ancient mantras with every step of the pilgrim's journey. Tucked deep within the Sichuan mountains, Yading is where nature and spirituality merge like prayers etched into stone. The three peaks, Shenrezig 6032 mm, Jampa 5958 mm, and Manjushri 5942 mm, represent compassion, wisdom, and power in Mahayana Buddhism, forming a sacred triangle believed by Tibetans to be the dwelling place of enlightened beings. At dawn, Shenrezig Peak emerges like an icy spire reaching into the heavens, its snowy flanks reflecting the cold light of sunrise, creating the image of a living statue carved from the earth. At its base lies Milk Lake, a holy alpine lake of jade-green stillness. Tibetans believe its waters have the power to cleanse the soul of karmic burdens. From the lake, one can continue to Lurong Pasture, a highland meadow, over 4,000 meters above sea level, where yaks graze peacefully near the canvas tents of nomadic herders. In autumn, the entire landscape transforms. Golden pine forests and crimson grasslands paint a farewell portrait of the season. The thin air, slow drifting clouds, and gentle wind render every movement sacred. Yading is not just a nature reserve spanning over 1,300 kilometers, officially designated in 2001, but also the second most important pilgrimage site after Mount Kailash. Each year, thousands of Tibetan devotees silently circle the three sacred peaks in a ritual known as the Kora, a spiritual trek to purify the heart. Life here is as simple as the breath of the mountains, yak butter boiling salt tea, steeping sampa cakes made from roasted barley. Homes are built from stone and colorful lung to prayer flags flutter across hills carrying blessings on the wind. During festivals, cham dances, ritual mass performances resound with drums, bells, and rhythmic steps in a circular trance, awakening faith through movement. The Yading monastery, built in the 15th century, is more than just architecture. It is a declaration of a life anchored in stillness and devotion. Monks chant scriptures throughout the day, their prayers echoing through the mountain passes like sonic waves reaching deep into the soul. Yading is not a tourist destination, it is a test of sincerity. You do not come here to sightsee, but to communicate through silence with a primordial world that needs no words. Each mountain is a deity, each lake a mirror to your soul, each kora a journey inward, arduous, pure, and profound. Those who have been here often say, "I left Yading, but Yading never left me." A piece of your heart will forever remain where sapphire waters meet snow-capped peaks, where faith returns to its rawest form, where nature's soul and humanity dissolve their boundaries. Beyond lies a magnificent gorge between Hubei and Sichuan, where rivers and stone together compose a hymn of the earth and sky. The Three Gorges, where Asia's longest river carves through three majestic mountain passes, is more than just a place, it is a journey. Here, nature and humanity intertwine, where river and rock compose an epic of earth and sky, creating a vivid stage for history, belief, and time. Along more than 190 kilometers, the Yangtze River winds through the three spectacular gorges, Kutangwu and Xiling. Kutang Gorge, the shortest and narrowest, leaves the strongest impression, with its sheer cliffs standing like gates to the heavens, opening up into vast space. Early in the morning, white clouds swirl around the rocky peaks, forming a living landscape painting that human hands can hardly replicate. Next comes Wu Gorge, soaked and flowing like a violin melody, where 12 mountain peaks named after goddesses emerge and disappear in the mist. Xiling Gorge, the longest and most treacherous, is the final challenge, with hidden reefs, whirlpools, and underground streams lurking beneath the mountains. Shenong Stream twists like a silver thread across this grand tableau. Sitting on a small wooden boat, listening to the Tujia people recount ancestral tales and watching small waterfalls trickle from the forest, you realize that beauty lies not only in scale but in emotional depth. The Three Gorges are not only scenic wonders but also a flow of history. This was an ancient lifeline for transportation, where armies, provisions, and faith all passed through. At Baidi City, the starting point of Kutang Gorge, Zhuge Liang once gazed upon the mountains, planning his strategies. Today, the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric project, dominates the end of Xiling Gorge, symbolizing China's modern engineering prowess, but also marking a divide between past and future. Along the riverbanks, small villages nestle beneath the mountains. The Ba and Tujia peoples live simply, with men weaving fishing nets, women drying medicinal herbs, and children playing traditional games. During festivals, they perform dragon dances, sing folk songs, and release lanterns on the river to pray for peace, small rituals that carry a living culture. The local cuisine is rich and hearty. Yangtze River fish cooked with ginger chili and rice wine, fiery Sichuan hot pot steaming in the cold air, cured meats, and wild greens preserved from last season, all bear the flavors of the land memories and honest life. Beliefs grow alongside the river's flow. People worship river gods, build small shrines along the banks, and never cease burning incense. Every early spring, they release floating lanterns to pray for favorable weather, a gesture of gratitude to the river that has nourished generations. Fengdu Ghost City, the city of souls. A Taoist relic with judgment, bridges, underworld gates, and statues of the King of Hell, is where faith and folk art meet in a surreal setting. The Three Gorges are not just a sight to behold, they are a cruise through memory, carrying you from towering cliffs to layers of history, from riverside life to the spiritual values and whispered prayers. Standing on the deck, watching the two mountain ranges close in, hearing the wind howl through the cliffs, feeling the river churn below and the distant toll of temple bells, you understand the Three Gorges are not for viewing, but for feeling, living, and connecting. And as the sun slowly sinks behind the Wu Mountains, leaving its last golden streak on the water, we know this epic never ends. It continues in every ripple, every legend, and in the memory of anyone who has traveled this river. Next, we arrive at a special beach where fields of blood-red grass blaze across the wetlands of Liaoning. There are places that don't need ocean waves or white sand to create majestic beauty. The Red Beach in Panjin, Liaoning Province is such a place where the landscape is painted vivid red by wild grasses stretching endlessly, like flames burning across coastal wetlands. In autumn, when Suaita salsa, a salt-tolerant plant, shifts from bright green to deep crimson, Red Beach seems to be ignited by nature itself into a giant torch. It is neither loud nor fierce, but stunningly beautiful, radiant, and meditative at once. The heart of this wonder is Red Beach Park, where wooden walkways stretch like white silk ribbons across a natural red carpet. From here you can watch flocks of migratory birds, red-crowned cranes, black-necked gulls spreading their wings against the backdrop of a sunset sky. The red of the earth, the blue of the sky, and the white of the birds create a three-color painting that only Panjin's autumn can compose. Located on the buffer zone between the Bohai Sea and the mainland, and Red Beach covers over 1,000 kilometers, making it one of the world's largest wetlands. From August to October, the area is covered in the fiery red of Suaita, a plant that has thrived here for thousands of years, alongside more than 260 rare bird species, forming one of Asia's most valuable biological reserves. Red Beach is not only a visual marvel, but also the product of thousands of years of geological and local cultural history. Formed from ancient marshes where sediment flows created a unique saline land, it has long been home to the Korean community in China. They have a deep connection with the sea, living by salt, farming, fishing, and shellfish farming, carrying traditions such as sea god worship and fire dance festivals celebrating the Red Suaita season. The culture here is deeply intertwined with nature, nurturing each other, rather than existing separately. Locals believe the red of the Suaita is the blood of a fairy exiled to earth, and it is her love that makes the marsh bloom brilliantly, a blessing of peace for those living at the edge of storms. Along the dikes stand small shrines and ancient temples where people pray for wealth, bountiful fish seasons, and protection from the sea. Near the park lies the ancient Korean village where traditional architecture, thatched roof houses, village squares, old wells, and folk dances have been preserved through generations. At the Panjin Wetland Museum, visitors can learn about the ecological structure, fishing culture, and how people live in harmony with nature. The local cuisine is the breath of the saltwater region, firm panjin crab, sweet steamed clams, charcoal grilled, brackish fish. Chrysanthemum tea made from fresh, seasonally picked flowers is a refreshing, elegant drink often served in small lakeside cafes. All are simple but refined, reflecting the slow rhythm of life here. Red Beach carries no sound of crashing waves, but the wind rustles through the reeds, bird wings flutter softly, and silence descends to calm the traveler's mind. Standing amid the Red Sea, one needs do nothing but breathe, watch, and quietly listen to nature's story told in colors, breaths, and the flow of life. Unlike any beach in the world, Panjin Red Beach proves that some places don't need soaring heights or deep depths to make people feel small before a simple yet absolute beauty. It is the beauty of a pure ecosystem, the resilient culture, and an undying faith held by those who live by the sea and live for the land. Next, we will visit an ancient royal resort in Hebei, where emperors once escaped the summer heat between peaceful lakes and palaces. Hidden among the forest mountains and lakes north of Beijing, the mountain resort in Chengde, Hebei, was once the summer retreat for Qing dynasty emperors seeking to escape the heat. But this place is more than just a resort. It is where nature and power, spirituality, and art intertwine, reflected in every pavilion, roof pine tree root, and the small streams winding through the stone courtyards. Spanning over 540 hectares, the mountain resort is divided into three main areas: the Southern Palace Complex, the lake area with a central island, and the Northern Mountain Forest. Each section bears its own distinctive character, from the grandeur of the imperial court to the elegance of poets and the deep meditation found atop pine-shaded peaks. In autumn, maple leaves dye the paths red, and the lake mirrors the curved roofs of temples, creating a Zhangnan in the north painting where royal dignity blends with natural beauty. Construction began in 1703 during the Kangxi Emperor's reign and was completed in 1792. The mountain resort was not only a retreat but also a political statement of the Qing dynasty. It was a place to receive envoys from Tibet and Mongolia, serving as a venue for negotiations and cultural influence, demonstrating harmony between the court and border peoples. This blending is clearly embodied in the 8 outer temple system, especially Puning Temple, home to a 22-meter-tall, 1,000-armed Guanyin statue, and Putuo Zongcheng Temple, a replica of the Potala Palace. Religious architecture and garden landscapes merge seamlessly, making it hard to distinguish the emperor's halls from Buddhist temples. Visitors feel their hearts soften amid the mist bell chimes and ancient tree shadows. The mountain resort was also a center for Qing art and culture. In autumn, royal festivals took place featuring Peking opera performances, lion dances, and solemn ancestral rites in the imperial gardens. The cuisine here combined mountain delicacies such as roasted lamb, sticky rice cakes, chrysanthemum tea, and fresh ginger-steamed lakefish, once royal banquet specialties. The people of Chengde continue traditional crafts, serving the court such as gemstone inlay, wood carving, and making traditional lanterns, now living heritage. Legend says an immortal once cultivated here, as this land combines yin-yang and 5 elements, a place where spiritual energy resides. When Kangxi came, he believed this spot between mountain and lake was the ideal convergence of governance and self-cultivation. Notably must-see highlights include Lake Center Island Island Palace Puning Temple, Putuo Zongcheng, and the northern mountain area where the scenery changes like time passing on ancient scriptures. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site since 1994, the mountain resort is not just architecture, but the quiet whisper of a once thriving empire. Here, nature is not conquered, but cherished. Humans do not rise above nature, but live in harmony with its rhythm. You can stand beneath a pine tree's shade beside a gently arched stone bridge and feel that every stone, every tower is telling a story in a language only those who listen long enough can understand. Next, we will visit one of China's most sacred mountains, where heaven and earth are only a step apart, Mount Tai. Only Standing majestically in Shandong Province, Mount Tai, also known as Dongyue, is not just a mountain, but a sacred symbol of Eastern civilization, a place where heaven, earth, humanity, and time converge. At 1,545 meters high, Mount Tai was once the site where emperors performed rituals to heaven and earth, serving as a pilgrimage destination for scholars, poets, and followers of Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism for over 3,000 years. From the foot of the mountain, the stone path called Heavenly Street winds upward like a thread connecting the mortal world to the divine realm. The footsteps of Emperor Chen Huang, Emperor Wu of Han, and the poet Li Bai, who once stood atop the summit, composing verses praising the earth and sky, still echo beneath each moss-covered stone slab. The history of Mount Tai is not written in books, but carved into rock faces hidden within thousand-year-old pine roots, and resounds in the morning temple bells. More than 7,000 stone steps lead you from the mortal realm to the Jade Emperor Peak, where heaven and earth are closest. Along the journey, you pass through ancient pine forests, babbling silver streams, calligraphy stone, stills from the Tang and Qing dynasties, and sacred gates such as Mid-Heaven Gate and South Heaven Gate. Passing through each gate is not just a change in altitude, it's a journey of cleansing the mind, like ascending the levels of consciousness. At the summit, the Azure Cloud Temple appears through the mist, and the imposing Jade Emperor Temple emerges, a place where emperors once performed rites to affirm the mandate of heaven. More than 72 kings have conducted ceremonies here, making Mount Tai the spiritual center of the Chinese people. It is no coincidence that Mount Tai was recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural and Natural Heritage Site in 1987, not only for its beauty, but because it is a living summary of a civilization. Mount Tai is also a treasure trove of poetry, calligraphy, and art, from Li Bai's poems to stone engravings over 1,000 years old. The inscriptions on the rock faces are messages from ancestors quietly drifting with the morning mist. Every year during the Mid-Autumn Festival and Qingming Festival, thousands of pilgrims ascend the mountain, not merely to visit, but to seek blessings and find peace within themselves. The faith practiced on Mount Tai is a harmony of Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Temples dedicated to the deity Bihai Yuanjin, the Azure Cloud Temple, and the Guanyin Shrine are stops for pilgrims. Legend has it that this was once the earthly abode of Bihai Yuanjin, the god who governs the mortal world. People believe that touching the stones at Mount Tai's summit brings blessings from heaven. Mount Tai does not shout nor need to be flamboyant. but its beauty is profound and solemn. Every gust of wind across the peak, every cloud drifting lazily through the mountain crevices. Every step on the stone stairs teaches you one thing: persistence, reverence, and the way to rise, not to conquer others, but to come closer to yourself. And now, having traveled from the Red Sea of Panjin to the skies above Mount Tai, the journey continues, leading us to the ancient land of Xi'an, the cradle of the Celestial Empire and the place where eternal dreams are buried beneath 1,000-year-old soil. China, a vast land of more than 3.7 million square miles, is a place where every destination is not just a point on a map, but its own world, holding deep layers of nature, culture, history, and spirituality. From the crystal-clear waters of Jiuzhaigou, where the lake changes color like a giant mirror reflecting heaven and earth, to the sandstone pillars of Zhangjiajie, where reality and illusion blend like a scene straight out of a movie, then to the ancient town of Lijiang, where the sound of water flowing through jade canals echoes alongside the Dongba ritual music. Every place we pass tells a different story of China, not following a linear timeline, but flowing gently through collective memory. We have paused at Huangshan, admiring the pine trees leaning over the sea of clouds, fell silent before the poetic beauty of West Lake, where the moonlight falling on the water is like an unfinished poem, and made a pilgrimage to Yading to see Chenrezig Peak reflected in the milk-like lake as if a Tibetan Buddhist dream has turned into reality. The Three Gorges tell us of a magnificent history where the Yangtze River cuts through three gorges like chapters written in water and stone. The red beach in Panjin astonishes us as the red grass turns an entire marshland into a surreal painting. Then there's Shanzhuang in Chengde, a regal resort where the tranquility of the lake and the splendor of the temples blend like a classical symphony. Finally, we pause at Mount Tai, the mountain where many ancient emperors once knelt to worship heaven and earth, to realize that the most sacred place is not the height, but the depth of sincere reverence. And now, as the journey draws to a close, perhaps what remains is not only the breathtaking images of each destination, but the invisible connection to a culture that has existed for thousands of years, to people living in harmony with heaven and earth, and to ourselves in the moment of quietly admiring the beauty before us. Because the true destination is sometimes not a place on a map. It is what awakens something inside, a stillness, a vibration, or simply a deeper, slower breath amidst the rush of life. Keep exploring, but travel as one who knows how to listen. Listen to the winds slipping through the curved tiles of ancient streets, the temple bells ringing from distant mountain peaks, and the babbling streams and forests yet unnamed. Walk not only with your feet, but with a respectful heart. Respecting nature, respecting local culture, and respecting the history of the very place you stand upon. Because only then will the beauty of China truly reveal itself, not only before your eyes, but also within your heart.